Hi, Rich here. Hey, I know it's been a while since I've made videos like this, so please don't click away. I know your time is valuable in the salon, so I figured this would be the best way for both of us. This introduction will be very short, so please just give me a few minutes of your time. In a world dealing with COVID, hasn't it become increasingly difficult to grow your business, much less maintain the level of business you used to do? I truly believe that I can offer you a solution that will not only increase and grow your business, but also allow you to grow your customers and do more service and retail dollars in less time. Time is money, right? But for most, you are not doing as many customers as you used to do, and more often than not, you have less time than before COVID. Have you ever heard of Mob or Masters of Balayage? Ryan Whedon, maybe? If not, check him out on Instagram. Ryan is best known for his balayage education and huge following of nearly 700,000 followers on Instagram. So here's the deal. Ryan just created the world's first and finest collection of pre-balayage tape-in hair extensions. These 16 balayage blends are handcrafted by Easy Hair Pro, who have a reputation for creating the highest quality, cuticle intact Remy hair. Wait until you see the swatch ring. No one has blends like this because Ryan spent over a year creating them himself. These extensions are the thinnest, lightest, and strongest extensions on the market. This is not just a new hair extension product, but a unique experience that allows the stylists to easily convert their clients into new extension clients. These extensions are easy and quick to put in, and unlike most other brands, are easily taken out and refreshed without all of the mess and hassle most stylists dislike about doing tape-ins. So you say you don't have time to do extensions? Can you spare 15 minutes maybe? Look, because I wanted to keep this short, you can find out everything by just watching this 53-minute video that's following this one that I cut down from over 8 hours of training. Trust me on this one. Watch this even if you've never been interested in doing extensions. The video will reveal the easy-to-apply system that will help you make more money and add more high-profit clients in just a short time. Thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Over the years, we've been really focused on growing and scaling our education brand, and Mob has become the world's most premier balayage training service. And we've done that through live education, in-person classes, as well as online education, which we released in 2017. People from all over the world are becoming balayage masters. But then we just realized, as all this was happening, like, we're missing something. And what we realized we were missing is a killer product. How can we find a product that's going to give the people that we touch a more flexibility so they can earn more and give their clients better results faster? And then it was pretty much by dumb luck that we Mob crossed paths with EHP, who I have to say, hands down, have the absolute best hair extensions on the planet. They feel great, they look great, and they have these, I don't know if you can see this, but just the customized blend with the balayage that we spent over a year developing, and I worked with them very closely. They sell themselves.
Salons are seeing less clients, either by mandate or by trend. And the one thing they all have in common is they're looking for different ways to leverage the time that they can spend behind the chair and earn more, learn more, and live a more abundant life. We want you to not think of this as just another hair extension brand. The way that we approach education for salons, we make 3 unique promises. And those 3 unique promises are to increase your service sales, your retail sales, and your pre-booking. Now, already off the bat, I hope that you're seeing that Masters of Balayage, powered by EHP, it's not just another widget. It's not just another brand. This is a movement, because nothing happens in a vacuum. When you're able to increase service sales and retail sales, you're also able to increase pre-booking, and they all are dependent upon one another. So what we'd like to do is introduce you to a few of the Mob educators so they can share with you what their experience has been.
I've been doing extensions for around 7 years now. I started with fusions, which is crazy that was even a thing. And then after that, I did get certified with the Jay-Z Styles brand as far as their tape-ins and their weft extensions. And then I was also certified in the habit extension method as well. This is the tape extension that I used to use on a lot of my clients. So as you can see, it's a lot smaller. It's a little bit thicker at the root. These are like retapes that I like pulled together. And then we have the Masters of Balayage extensions from Easy Hair Pro. One of the biggest things that I have discovered with my current clients that I have been transitioning from the old extensions into these new ones is not only can I use less amount of tape extensions in their hair, but the way that the root is not only blended, but the actual tape portion of it, it's so much lighter on my clients' hair that they have been so thrilled with the fact that they can even literally pull their hair back. You're not seeing as much plastic at the root. So it's been a huge success for my clients and me wearing them. I would definitely say, switching people over has been the easiest, basically because I'm showing them the difference with their old extensions in comparison to the new Masters of Balayage EHP extensions. You can't even tell that it's good. Look at that. So, and I love the thing that with you guys with EHP and how you have been training us, Angie, thank you. The stock it to rock it, the wear it to share it, master the consultation, master the reapplication, all these things that you guys have taught us in these trainings have really, really helped me behind the chair as far as doing extensions. Because before, let's get you in, let's order your hair, let's book you in 3 weeks from now, whenever the hair comes in. This has been a huge success for me behind the chair, in addition to the way that you guys have educated and then the amazing, extensions just themselves. It's just been really, really good.
What has it done for you financially? What has it done to your retail dollars?
Yeah. From November 15th to yesterday, I have 28 new mob extension clients because I stocked their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. 28. I have made in that amount of time, that's not that long, November 15th until now, I have made $8,202. Definitely having the hair in stock, all displayed on my station in the salon, all my cute little mob boxes all stacked up. So people ask about them, and I take the extension, I hold it up right to their head, and they're like mind blown. I'm like, we can do a mini volume. It's up to a box of hair. We can put it in just to let you try it out. And that has been my biggest is the mini volumes as far as introducing extensions to people. And it's like happening really quick. And they've been so happy.
You're in Port Orange, Florida. That's not necessarily a bustling metropolis. You charge $45 for a haircut. And you've only begun this process since the middle of November. So we're talking less than 2 months.
My average service ticket currently with color, all of it, not just the extensions, is $190, $193 in Port Orange, Florida. But
that's great.
With the extensions, I calculated it specifically extensions was $292. The biggest way that I'm able to sell the extension to the client is a lot of times people are really wanting like that bright money piece right around the hairline, like I have put in mine. So my clients will come in, oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. I want my piece that blonde in the front of my face. And it's just so easy for me to be like, well, for X amount of money, I can give it to you. Chemical-free, balayage.
It's the frequency of visits that you're really talking about right now. So someone who's doing balayage is really only coming into the salon every 6 months. So you're only doing color every 6 months, and that's really the only service, maybe a haircut that you're doing on them. Now, what you're sharing is because they're using Masters of Balayage hair extensions to create that balayage effect, chemical-free. So what that does is it increases the frequency of visits from 2 times per year to 8 times per year.
Again, it's more than just another hair extension widget. It will increase your average service ticket, your average retail ticket, and your pre-booking. And obviously, the more you increase your frequency of visits, the more it's going to affect your retail. They're tied. The interesting thing is at $191 with as an average service ticket and only a $45 haircut, right? That puts you in the top 10% of the top 1% in the entire country as a performance standard. So, I mean, in 2 months, that is astonishing. It's not uncommon that salons are going to share with you, well, gee, I don't really have a large hair extension clientele. That is the most common response when it comes to, because they're thinking about the dollars that they need to spend. They're not thinking about the dollars they're going to generate. So quite often you have salons and salon owners that are going, we don't have a large hair extension clientele, to which I would say exactly, because the majority of your hair extension clients are going to be converted, not recruited, right? And that's a whole nother step. So I say all of that because I want to ask Emily, what's been the biggest light bulb moment with regard to the things that have allowed you to convert so many non-hair extension clients that never wore extensions to now wearing a Masters of Balayage?
Of course, I have all the hair sitting at my station. With me even just having it there, I'm talking, about my client. I now give them the paperwork to fill out. And a lot of times people, they'll just say, oh, I'm so breakage around my hairline, or I had a baby and I lost all this hair around my hairline, or really just wanting that bright piece around their face. I literally will just be like, well, we have this new extension line. It's really amazing because it literally is pre-balayage. So, and I'll tell them there's other extensions that aren't pre-balayage, so you're not getting that beautiful blend that's going all the way down. It's easy. I have the hair available right now. And, I'll just kind of show it to them. I'll play with it a little bit. I'll do their color service. We'll finish them up. And I'll be like, I have the perfect color to match for you if it is available. For the most part, I do a lot of blondes. And that 7A, 12N, so good. So it's perfect. So I just hold it up to their hair and they just feel so blonde that I'm not even kidding. I'll be like, it's no pressure. But if you want to set up an appointment, or I have a few minutes extra today if you would like for me to put them in. And I would say 80% of the time thus far, people are like, oh my God, let's do it. They're just so excited because I have so much hype and excitement about it. And these are for people who've never worn extensions. And I was kind of surprised with how many people were feeling that way about their hairline. I never really asked them, actually. People who have full hair, but they have a weird bang that never grows because they straighten it all the time. The easiest way for me to convert them to using extensions was literally teaching them as I'm going through, we can place it here. It's easy to shampoo. You only come up for a move up every 6 weeks. And you can just come up for a move up appointment. And they're like, okay. And I kind of break down the cost a little bit. They're like, okay. I'm like, it'll last you this amount of time and all this good stuff. So anybody who I bring it up to, they're either considering it or they just immediately say yes. And with all the hair being stopped at my station and then looking at it, they're like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And again, me just holding up to their head, it instantly, they want it. It's amazing.
You started around the same time as Emily, is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And why don't you go ahead and share with us what experience have you had with hair extensions as a category prior to trying Masters of Balayage powered by EHP?
I've done extensions for quite some time. I've worn them forever. I've done them. I don't have a huge clientele with extensions. I've had many years of experience doing them, but I'm primarily color when I'm in the salon. This is giving me an opportunity to convert my color clients into extension clients. So right off the bat, 17, almost instantly, clients that have never talked about extensions, have been my clients for years, have walked out the door with extensions in their hair. By having the smaller packaging, I can now create the looks by just doing side volume panels, partial volume, full volume, whatever they're looking for. So I've gained their trust. They've been coming to me for years. They've known me. And if I've looked at them and said, let me give you that ultimate look that you're looking for, so please let me just try this or whatever, what do you think? They're like, well, yeah, I'm no longer saying I'm going to order you 4 packs of extensions. It'll be here in a week. And then you got to pay for this. And then you got to pay for that. It's not nickel and diming anymore. It's kind of packaged together as I've created the look. It's been easy. Like, it's surprising. My staff is looking at me like, oh my God, what's happening? I'm like, just pay attention, take notes. I don't know. This is great. So,
Yeah.
and I'm having my clients come back and say, okay, I want more. I want more. So even like starting with this fill-in pieces, like most of mine that I started with were shorter hair, just needed that kind of fill-in area around the front to give it that fullness. And so they're coming back wanting more. Now I've also converted my ones that are currently in hotheads or Babe. I've also used. What it's done for me is it's now added a different service to my ticket for my clients. It's created excitement for them. They're leaving with something that they love. They absolutely love their hair, and they're thanking me. So like I said before, I would have never been able to talk to many of these people about, let's add extensions. They came in for a $150 service. They weren't trying to leave, $700 later. I have doubled my color clients pricing because now every 6 weeks when they come back for color, we have to do an extension adjustment. So now I've doubled on at least 17 so far. I'm just shocked, honestly. I can't believe it. And then I'm converting my extension clients as well. So they'll be moving forward with this. But now, just that little bit of people are doubled their ticket value on that. And I know how it is for extensions. I'd rather give up food than to give up my hair. People are just looking for something to make them feel good and look good. And, it's something new and exciting. So this is, I think, as long as I've done extensions, this is the most excited I've ever been about doing it. You know how much we love to convert people as hairstylists. We love the transition. We love the transformation. So it's exciting for all of us. So I think this brand is going to do really well. I'm wearing them myself. I love the lightweight durability of them. I'm on my second. I've already done my second round of adjustments, or my first round of adjustments. So I'm very happy with it myself. It's very light, and I've got no complaints. The colors are amazing.
What has this done to your average service ticket?
It will double it.
And I'm sure a lot of you might get that question with regard to why tape as opposed to other methods. And the answer is very simple. Speed, efficiency, and safety, not to mention it's applicable to people who have thin, fine hair, sensitive scalp, and then the learning curve is very short. Time is is the currency that we all tend to exchange nowadays, and that on the heels of COVID has probably become more important an aspect in succeeding as a salon professional than anything else. So if you can give somebody volume, length, and or color, and you can do it in minutes as opposed to hours, there's less potential for exposure, number one. So they're in, they're out. And also, it creates a more profitable salon professional. Mm-hmm. Because if you can achieve that same look in literally 15 minutes, that means that you can see more clients. So now speed, timing, efficiency, a slow learning curve, and safety.
I've done a lot of weft extension clients. That was my primary extension clientele before I was introduced to Mob. I, of course, did use other tape extensions, but I would use them as fillers. So with people who just want weft extensions, I encourage every single one of my weft extension clients to have at least 2 to 3 of the Masters of Balayage tape extensions around their hairline. That way they can fill it, because if you have wefts, they can only come up so far. You're still going to have a gap. And people want this bright money piece like I have where I placed my Mob tape extension as well. But I also have had people who I've done wefts on, and I just talked to them about it. I was like, why don't we give the tape extensions a shot? And I've had 3 people thus far completely switch to just tapes from weft extensions. And it really is a personal preference too, on that side a little bit. Sometimes clients just don't like the wefts and they just want tapes. I think that it's a really, really good opportunity to simply give them something quick, like you were just saying, and then stick them in rather than sewing in a row that takes 40 minutes a row. If you have weft extension clients that are that's what they're going to do, to be able to introduce some tapes, pop some around their face, and it's been really successful for me.
when it came to extensions, I didn't want a full head of extensions. And a lot of girls in my salon were doing the hand tied and they're like, Alec, let's do the hand tied. I'm like, I don't want it. So my hairline, for example, I have a lot of breakage around my hairline, and I also don't have any hair in this area. So with the hand tied, I wasn't able to just fill in the front. I'm like, I don't want to add length. I just want to add a little bit of volume. I mostly want it in the front, because if you add hair into this front area that's broken, it's going to extend it, make it look a little bit longer. And I can't lighten this. Like I was saying, the front money piece, I can't really lighten my front because it's just going to keep disintegrating. So I was not able to get that look with hand tied extensions because there's nowhere to tie it. I like maybe right here. So we just popped in a few tape-ins, and the best part about the mob extensions is how big they are. So I could just literally put a panel in, or I could cut it into like 4 little different pieces and customize it.
Tape is just a lot more versatile, a lot quicker, a lot more applicable to all types of clients.
So something that is very different about our lengths is we call it true length, and it's very beautifully naturally tapered. So what you're seeing is a range. So it's in 12, 16, and 20. But something about the 12-inch is that it's fullest to that 12-inch point, and anything beyond that is really a bonus, but it measures to the 14-inch. And the reason that we do this natural taper is to really help save time for the hairdresser, and it creates a better look for the person who's wearing the hair. Something about most extensions that are on the market is they're one length and they're cut very blunt at the bottom. And for hairdressers, it doesn't work because it doesn't all grow out from your head in the same way that each individual strand of hair does. It's placed in rows and in a pattern on the head. So if you were to take a product that's cut blunt and apply it with gaps and steps on the head, the end result, or the length or the volume that you're seeing in the hair, you're going to see those steps. And as a hairdresser, what you have to do to make it blend is you have to go in and you have to cut that hair to soften it, create the layers, create the shape. So that does 2 things. It wastes the hairdresser's time, and it's a costly service, because as soon as you start cutting and carving into the hair, clients are holding on to that chair for dear life, and they are looking at you in the mirror, because when they see hair hitting the floor,
they see
money hitting the floor. When it comes to doing a service like this, time is money. So we really designed this product to make it faster, easier, and more effective for the hairdresser and give the client a better end result. Something that's really, really great about Masters of Balayage hair extensions is the color you see on the ring is the color you're going to get in the product. And the variance in that color is less than 5%. Now, for all of you who are familiar with color, having a consistent color, as you know, is very, very difficult, and it really speaks to the manufacturing standards. This is the Masters of Balayage color ring. You'll see that on the tag, there's 16 colors on this color ring. All of them are balayage and custom designed by Ryan Whedon, the master of balayage himself. So it's ranging from a 1N, being a black root, all the way up to a 12N and everything in between. Something that's different about this product is it speaks color, level, and tone. It speaks hairdresser. We don't use wig colors such as a
613.
BT 613 or something like that. To hairdressers, that does not make sense at all. No one can tell you really what that is unless they've been working with wig colors, and it's very rare. On every single color swatch, on one side, it's going to have the salon level and tone. So for instance, on this side, it says a B1N/3N. The B stands for balayage. So the top is a balayage 1N, and it's transitioning into a 3N. So every single one of the colors has the salon level and tone. So this is really, really important to hairdressers because they can easily look at the color bar, look at a client, and formulate exactly what that color formulation is. And we wanted the hairdressers to be able to take that same approach and instantly formulate what they can do on a client, just like they do at the color bar. To clients, they don't speak hairdresser. They don't know level. They don't know tone. And they might, because sometimes we talk about it with them. But for the most part, they have no idea what we're saying. So we also incorporated a really beautiful name, and this really ties into the Gaia collection. So the one that I just shared, which is the B1N3N, is Midnight Valley. You can see how every single color has a really, really beautiful name reflected of the Gaia collection. So that's a little bit about the coloring and how it's labeled, but also let's talk about the hair. All of the hair that's on this coloring is 100% Remy cuticle intact hair. Now, the reason that I'm sharing this is because every other coloring on the market is not cuticle intact hair. It's actually made with synthetic hair. And the challenge with using synthetic hair is the colors aren't true to the product that you would be receiving. So to have the most accurate representation of what this quality and the color will be, we use 100% Remy cuticle intact hair on the color swatch. There are no silicones used on this hair whatsoever. And that is a very, very, very big distinction from Masters of Balayage hair extensions to anything else on the market. Most manufacturers, in order to keep cuticle on the hair, it becomes very, very difficult to process because the cuticle goes all in one direction, right? So during manufacturing, we're dealing with huge kilograms of hair at one time. And so what other manufacturers do to allow for easier, faster processing is they actually strip the cuticle off of the hair, because if it gets flipped in either direction, it doesn't matter. But leaving cuticle on the hair, the challenge with it flipping in different directions,
Tangling,
is
inversion.
it can cause tangling and inversion. So when manufacturers remove that cuticle, they're really removing the outermost protective layer of the hair. They're removing the shine, the manageability, the protection, the look, the feel, the ability to really lock and hold color. And to replace that, what they need to do is they have to coat it with silicones. Now, the challenge with silicones is silicones are not good for our bodies. It's not good for our hair. And over time, as you wash, it starts to wear off. And when that silicone starts to wear off of that product, that hair starts to really get funky. And so a lot of the other brands on the market, they say that it is a reusable product. However, it's true, but it's also extremely false, because I don't know too many people that want to continue to use that product if it's looking bad.
Eventually, that silicone that's baked in will wash out after a few shampoos, which is not the case with Masters of Balayage.
Myself and Paul Reynolds, the CEO and founder of Easy Hair Pro, we actually go to the factories and we work in the factory. And that's another reason why Ryan wanted to partner with us, is because when it comes to the quality of the product, it's not just the look and feel, but it's also the consistency and the performance of the product. And when it comes to like having consistent product, you have to have Remy hair that's left with the cuticle on, not mixing in synthetic hairs or hairs that have fallen on the floor and then put back into the hair bundle. We take pride in the way that we manufacture hair, and we're major nerds when it comes to that. And, you know, we really care about the quality and the consistency.
Our sourcing specifically is inspired by the denier, which is the thickness, the density of the hair. All hair extensions, no matter what, are always double processed, right? They're always bleached and then they're dyed, even the blondes. And the reason we use Chinese hair is because it has a thicker denier. So if you're going to go from a level 1 all the way up to a level 10 and above,
12,
right, you're going to need a denier that's thick enough, particularly if we're using our proprietary process of retaining the cuticle on the hair. So now we're doing two things. We're taking something from, you know, a level 1 to a level 10 and above, and we're also keeping the cuticle on it, right, while changing that color. So we need hair that's strong enough to withstand that process and still look and feel as if it came off of a Russian blonde. And so that is really the magic recipe.
without using silicones to mask anything.
Without using any silicones, et cetera, and so on. That way, that's how we can double process this hair and still produce something like this that, I mean, these blondes look better than a lot of hairdressers that, you know, are actually mixing it in a bowl and painting it on people's hair. I mean, not Ryan's education team, but the others. With other tape-in brands that you have used, because everybody touts the reusability of it, with other tape-in brands that you've used, what challenges have you encountered when it comes to the removal and the reapplication. That's kind of the elephant in the room that tends to be the dark place when it comes to tape-in hair extensions. So can you share with us, with other brands, what experience or challenges have you had with the removal, retape, reapplication?
I don't do as many extensions, but when I do, I want them to be super duper easy. I just want to get it over with, put them in, take them out. Problem that I ever had with taking extensions in and out was the tape and like sticky residue left over. And I was like, God, this is such a nightmare. But when we did the Masters of Balayage extensions for the photo shoot, it was so fast. Like it came right out with the remover. We took the tape off, put the new one back in. I didn't have to wash the hair. I didn't have to wash the model's hair. Very clean, very fast.
So I used another brand before tape extensions, and I would struggle so much. That's why I decided to learn wefts, is because of the struggle of getting the tapes out. Using the Masters of Balayage hair, I'm not even kidding. I spray the release on the hair. We let it sit. We take our little comb, pop it off. You don't even leave like the tape residue. You just gently comb it right out and it comes out. I was mind blown. My assistant wanted to like cry because she had always removed the extensions for me. And she was like, oh my God, this is so good. But it comes out so easy. Basically the sticky residue, it just wasn't existing. It's so much better than any other tape that I've used. And in addition to the removing process, not just to the sticky residue, but the amount of hair that you're having to remove is less because the wefts, you can place them in your brick lay pattern, how we were taught to place them. It's so much different that you're getting less residue. And then again, that placement board, amazing. And as far as switching from a different tape extension line to this one, it's incredible. It's so good.
Not all tape-in hair extensions are created the same, and they're definitely not created equal. So just, and a lot of it has to do with not just the adhesive, but it also has to do with the panel. So what you'll see is there's a triple cross stitch, and this is part of our patented proprietary anti-shedding technology. In addition to that, this is the strongest, lightest, thinnest, most durable panel on the market, weighted to hair replacement standards. Now, conversely, if you look at a different panel, you'll notice it's thick, it's clunky. The interesting thing about it is it's just polyurethane with tape on it. So what you're going to get is you're going to get a lot of shedding that gives you that raked look after a few weeks. And in addition to that, when it comes to the reapplication process, when you remove those panels, quite often a lot of hairdressers are unable to apply new tape on it without compromising the integrity of the panel. You can see it's a completely different thing. So what a lot of hairdressers end up doing is taking new tape, putting it on top of old tape, and then what it does is it creates a bigger, messy problem. So with this, you're getting more coverage, less weight, and you're getting a stronger panel with no risk of shedding as well, which makes the application process and the reapplication process a lot more desirable. Our thing is all about systems, and my definition for system is save yourself time, energy, and money. If you remove that hair, you need a system that's going to make it efficient, effective, etc., and so on. So we introduced to you the Masters of Balayage placement board. The cool thing about this is it allows the hairdresser to do a handful of things. One, when you're removing the hair, you can actually remove the panels and put them in the order that they should go back into the hair. So it keeps you organized, it keeps you clean, it's fast, it's efficient, it's expeditious. You also use this as a tool to actually design the look that's actually going to go into their hair. The big challenge with so many other manufacturers is a lot of other manufacturers are just interested in producing a widget. The widget just happens to be hair, but there's no rhyme or reason. And quite often, it's just you're getting in where you can fitting in, right? You get in where you fit in, and there's no rhyme or reason, and they're just putting it in the hair, and then they're cutting it. But The challenge is when you remove it and reapply it, you have to cut it more and more and more. It's a whole different approach to hair extensions. You know, everybody else is trying to resuscitate their business. That's not how we succeed. We reinvent our business in the face of these challenges. And one of the things that we do is we have set looks. It's very, if you think about this, this is a very turnkey approach to creating a look. Now, most people tend to think of hair extensions, if you look at the image right here, as a full length. And you'll hear people talk about packs and wefts and sandwiches. You're not going to do that. We're only talking about the look. And this right here is full length. Well, the recipe for full length happens to be that is 4 boxes. Now, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the reason we're only talking about looks with the salon client is because we don't want them doing math. We want a different approach. We want the approach to Masters of Balayage hair extensions to be as easy as getting a color or a cut. Here's the secret sauce I'm going to share with you. When you go to do a length application, even though the behind the scenes recipe for this might be 1 box of 18-inch and 3 boxes of 22-inch, the likelihood that you're going to use all of those panels in order to create that look is going to be slim. You're going to have leftover hair. So the question is, what do you do with that leftover hair? Well, that goes back to stock. It's just like color. You would never do somebody's color, have color left over in the bowl and go, oh, you know what? I didn't use all of this, right? So
Here you go.
Here, take it home, right? So with hair extensions, because the margins are so much higher, this goes back to stock and you use that to create another look. 25% of all clients suffer with thin, fine hair and struggle to achieve sustainable volume. So when you think about hair extensions, the big mistake, most people are thinking length, but they're not thinking where 25% of your clients really live, and that's volume. This look is called partial volume, and it's just 1 box. Angie, hold up that box.
Yeah, it's the look that Emily keeps referring to as that money piece and filling in right around the face. So on the board here, it's these 3 panels on either side, right where my hands are. It's just those 3 panels on either side of the face.
And this is 1 box, just 1 box. This 1 box of hair creates the look that you're seeing on the screen. Now, here's the secret sauce I'm going to share with you. You heard about all of those amazing conversions, 28 clients, 17 clients, you're converting all these clients. This is a 15-minute application. Angie, I've seen her do it in less than 5 minutes. 15-minute application, you're charging $250 to $300. And the neat thing is you're going to get so many more people saying yes to this look because the commitment of time and money is so low. And then it becomes a gateway drug to Emily's earlier point. People come back and they're like, okay, give me more. And then this is full volume. This is where instead of just the stairway, you're really connecting that, and it's 2 boxes. That's the recipe for that. And then we have partial length. So the difference between partial length and full length is it's 3 boxes instead of 4. And to Angie's point, when she was talking about the different lengths, we use something called a seamless layering. So the idea is you get more coverage with less panels, less cutting, which means you save yourself time, you save yourself money, and you also maximize your margins and the rate per hour behind the chairs. So as far as pricing is concerned, we have 3 different tiers of pricing, and what we can do is take a dive into that, and I can share this with you. You might see micro and mini volume, right? And you're like, well, Lance, you talked to us about partial full volume, partial full length. Where does micro and mini volume come in? So I want you to think about this. We're going to simplify this. The looks are very simple. Most of them are either volume or their length. So if you look at this, what you'll see is in the first column, it has the name of the look. In the second column, it has the recipe. So in other words, how many boxes and then how many panels. And then in the third column, it's the time to complete the look. And then what you'll see is, according to the length, what you're typically charging. This is very turnkey. You've thought about everything, because as the customer is looking at the menu of services, looking at what look, they know exactly how much it is and what the time is, and then what the maintenance is. It keeps it really simple. The less decisions a salon client has to make, because of the fact that you empowered the salon to think of them and think for them, the more likely the conversion is going to happen. We want it to be as simple, clean, and easy as getting your hair cut or colored. There might be product involved. There's product involved when you color hair, but you're not breaking it down for the client. So you'll notice that the packaging here is really different. Most hair extensions manufacturers tend to put these in these cheap plastic bags. So you're talking the highest earning salon service. The most luxurious thing you could do is add hair, but they put them in these cheap cellophane bags. So take note of how this is packaged.
So it is very compact by design. So in the same way that you would organize color at your color bar, you want to encourage your salons to create an extension color bar. So it's going to be stacked just like hair color is, by level and tone. And in this case, it's by level, tone, and then also by length in 12, 16, and 20. So you can really keep that organized in the back bar. Inside one box of hair. On the front of it, in the same way on the coloring, you're going to see the length of the hair. You're going to see the salon color, be it the level and tone, and then also the name. So when they open this box, and then there's a barcode so that they can scan it out of their system, keep track of it. So when you open this box of hair, actually, my favorite part about this box of hair is you don't even have to open it to see what's inside, because you can see the color through the window. So if you don't want your customers opening up all the boxes of hair to really see what's in there, they can just take a glance. Is this the color I want? Yes, no, okay, put it back, or open it up. So when you open it up, I love this. The first thing that you see is the message from Ryan talking about the Gaia collection and the commitment to quality. And then on the inside, everything is wrapped really beautifully in a hairnet. Something about this product is it's not wrapped with a string, or it's not wrapped in bundles. So the reason it's in a hairnet is to keep it wrapped and looking really, really beautiful, so that it looks incredible fresh out of the box. So I'm going to take it out of the hairnet. And on the card itself, it states again that it's 100% Remy cuticle intact. And then it also has the length and the salon level and tone. So when you're holding up this hair, there are, and I saw this question earlier in the chat window, so there are 12 individual panels in each box of hair. Now remember, you're creating a hair sandwich. So what in that chart that Lance just showed you, when it says 6 panels, you're never going to apply an individual panel because these panels are so thin and fine and flexible. That might be one of your questions, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. But you're never going to apply an individual panel. They will always be sandwiched together with the client's natural biological hair in the middle. So there's 12 panels on here. Each panel is 2 inches wide. So something that Emily had shown you earlier was the difference between a standard panel that's on the market and the Masters of Balayage panel. A lot of what she was saying is not just the construction and the ease of use, reusability, it's not sticky, it's not messy, but the reason that it's a 2-inch wide panel is because we want the hairdresser to be able to do more with less, achieve a better look using less hair. It makes it faster, makes it easier, makes it more repeatable, and at the end of the day, you get more coverage. So when it comes to doing a hair extension service, you want to really maximize the coverage on the interior, inside the hair, to really create the best, most beautiful look. You don't have to apply this color, only this color in the hair, just like you don't have to use just one box of hair color. You can combine, you can custom formulate, you can put 2 different colors together to really create that custom look. And so this color that I'm holding up, this is B7NA12N. The name of this color is Moonlit Oak. So let's just talk about what Ryan has created and what really makes this balayage color very unique from what else is out there on the market. The B represents balayage and it's on all of the colors. Now, something that he is really, really proud about is the color on the top, which represents the root color of the hair, and the really beautiful transition. So what Ryan and the entire Masters of Balayage team teaches is how to create that really beautiful blend and how you get those flecks of color from the top to the bottom or vice versa. And so he's really spent a lot of time developing exactly what this color needs to look like to really, really look beautiful inside the client's hair, to create that perfect blend, to really have a really seamless transition so you can't see the product in the hair. And it's one of the biggest questions for anybody is, well, are they going to see it in the hair? Is it going to show? And this is what truly helps create that seamless blend. So you can't really see the line of demarcation from the client's natural hair into the extension hair. So everything about this product, from the construction, the way that it's made, the way that it's tapered in the ends to create that really beautiful natural movement without the need to cut and blend, to the color design and the way that every single characteristic of this product has been thought of, and it's very much by design.
What I need to do in order to prep this panel is on each, well, here's the face of the panel, so the exterior, and on the interior, there's a white tape backing. I'm going to remove that white tape backing and apply my panel. Now here's what's really great about this panel. We're applying, some of your accounts may ask this, we are applying top panel first. Other brands teach you to do bottom panel first. Now here's why this makes it faster and easier and more effective. When we're pressing down this panel is designed to pick up the perfect amount of hair to support this panel. No more, no less. The opposite of that is doing the under over first. And the challenge with that is the hairdresser has to determine how much hair to fit in between that panel. So you're left with either too much or too little hair, which can either lead to slipping or it can lead to tension and pulling and ultimately hair loss. So everything about this is by design. So I'm pressing to pick up enough hair to support that panel. I'm lifting it up, and you can see it takes my section for me. I go right in, clip that up, and place my bottom panel, removing that white tape backing, lifting it up, walking it over, dropping it down. It's as simple as that. Using my comb, flip it up, take my section, which is about an inch in between. So now what I'm combining is my seamless layer. So I'm taking my 12-inch and then my 16-inch. So my 12-inch will be on top. And ultimately what this is, the stair step is essentially a brick lay pattern going towards the face. Lift this up.
Gotcha.
So put that on, walk it over, drop it down, press. Lift it up. Okay. And that is how you complete
Nice.
the partial volume. So that's one side. How long did that take me?
5 minutes.
If it's not even,
Yeah.
you just saw I did this side in probably 2 minutes. Total service time should be 5. By the time you consult, color match, pick your color, build it out on the placement board, do your application, drop the hair down, cut, blend, style, go over home care, pre-booking and talking about the retail products that they need to care for it at home. That full service is 15 minutes. That is how you're going to generate $300 in 15 minutes as far as service. They will go home with an average of 3 to 4 home care products, if not all of them. And then they will pre-book to come back in 6 weeks for their removal, retape, and reapplication, in which, again, they will be returning to the salon to purchase more home care products and that service. She can still put her hair up. She can put it back. None of the panels are going to show. She gets that color. Beautiful. When they come back in 6 weeks, It's grown out about an inch or the height of this comb. So that's totally normal. They're going to use clean bond remover, and it comes with a spray nozzle. So when you're using this product, you want to get it right down in between the panels. Spraying it like this onto the hair does absolutely nothing but waste the product. You want to make sure it's concentrated, getting right in there, and then just gently walking those panels off from top to bottom. You take those off, you place them sticky sides together, and you put them right back on your placement board as they were in the head. And this is how we keep that haircut, we keep the same color, we keep everything in place. So it becomes very, very consistent and very repeatable for the hairdresser. Remove that panel. Now what would be left on the hair over the course of 6 weeks is going to be a little bit of the residue, which is adhesive left behind on the hair, and a combination of natural shed. So the hair that's sandwiched between those panels is going to shed naturally, as all of the hair does on our entire head, yet over the course of 6 weeks, it hasn't had anywhere to go because it's been trapped. So once you use the clean panel remover, unlock those panels, set them on the placement board, what's going to be left behind is a small impression of residue along with that natural shed. So as you go to spray that clean product, and the more you spray, the easier it is and the cleaner the hair is. Okay, so you're going to go back in and comb that out. So this is the last one. If someone is familiar with working with another brand, they're very used to working with a single-sided tape. And the reason they're used to working with a single-sided tape is because it's too much weight and stress and tension on somebody that has very, very thin, fine hair. And going back to the original panel design, this was designed for women with thin, fine hair, and this is weighted to hair replacement standards. So the combination of our two panels is less than what you would get in a single panel from another brand. It's definitely safe, and it's still very, very thin and fine and flexible and extremely comfortable. More importantly, to that person who's wearing a single-sided, it's safe. Now, the nice thing about the clean product is once all of this is out, the hair is left very, very clean, and you can immediately do a reapplication. So this hair is already dry. It's already evaporated. It's nice and clean. If you're really fast, you can hit it with a blow dryer and put them right back in. So and I wonder if I can create it. Can you hear how squeaky clean? It leaves the hair very squeaky clean, almost like a clarifying shampoo does. So now we get to retape. So inside each pack of tape, there are 56 individual pieces. And on each sheet, you will have 7 pieces of tape. Now our retaping technique is very, very cool. Very different. Okay, so what I have in my hand is I have the used tape panel. They are sandwiched together, tape side to tape side. So what I'm going to do is open this up. Okay, so I'm going to push up and away. The reason I'm pushing up and away from the hair is I never want to push or roll that tape down into the hair because it's going to create a very gooey, tangly mess. So I want to use my thumb, pinch it up and over, and in that, it's twisting on itself and it's creating, I'm going to show you on this slide, it's creating that tag, okay? So that tag, and this goes back to the ease of use and how it does not leave your hands sticky, gooey, messy, gunky, gross. It's because it's these quick, easy moves that keep it very clean and organized. Okay, so once I have that tag, I'm going to take this off and place it down on my station. This is my station, okay? So now I have a nice clean panel, and Daniel, I don't know if you can help, but I want to show how clean this is. You can see how clean it is. It's incredibly shiny. And it looks just like this even over the course of 6 weeks, over the course of 6 months of wear. It's left very, very, very clean. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go in and retape. So our retaping technique, I'm going to show you against my black shirt. You're going to lift up one corner of the tape side. Now, the reason we teach it to do it like this is because you never want to touch the replacement tape with the pads of your finger. When you touch it with the pads of your finger, you're transferring oils and it can compromise the adhesion or the integrity of the panel. So now what I'm going to do is use that edge and align it from top to bottom, side to side. And I'm going to use this window to my advantage to make sure that that tape is perfectly aligned every single time. Easy, right? This is pressure and heat activated. So I'm pressing down to remove any air bubbles, make sure that I have that airtight seal. And then before I apply it, I'm going to heat activate it. And that means I'm tapping it with my flat iron at 350 degrees. So when I apply that hair, it's a little more pliable, it's a little more soft, and we also talk about that in education. If they're going to make a mistake, it's okay. If you tap that right before applying, it gives them a little more wiggle room to make those adjustments and corrections to make sure that they have a perfectly aligned panel every single time. So the tape always has to be perfectly aligned from top to bottom, side to side, and so do the panels as they come together. You have a nice, new, fresh panel that feels fresh out of the box every single time, every single reapplication. So it's really, really fast, really easy from application to retaping to reapplication. Pretty cool, huh?